Well guys, it finally happened. Kaneki has become the Tokyo Ghoul. How is it going, everybody? I hope you all are having a wonderful time so far, and I hope you guys are at least having a good time with this latest chapter of Tokyo Ghoulery. Here's my review right now of chapter 145. Kaneki has just gone Godzilla mode and is currently attacking, enveloping, and absorbing all the citizens within Tokyo, and there is no way right now to stop him. That is my review, basically. That is the essence of this week's chapter. There's nothing to dive into. There's no foreshadowing. There's no dialogue just to dissect and go over. This was a very simple chapter. But even though it was still very simple, it gave us the scope and the actual danger level that Kaneki right now actually poses to the city of Tokyo, because we got to see how big his form actually is, his reach, how big he is actually getting. This chapter was basically to demonstrate for us, we are right now the citizens of Tokyo looking at right now what is developing. This giant cogne is basically just enveloping the streets, going from alleyway to streetway, going around buildings. Like, this form right now that Kaneki has is massive. And the funny thing is, if you took the theme to Godzilla and mashed it up with the panels within this chapter, you would get a classic monster film that used to come out of Japan for Godzilla back during the 1950s. But I just gotta say, I am loving talking with all of you guys right now and just laughing and poking fun at this chapter in the comments of my live reaction, because you gotta look at this chapter and just realize that Ishida is trolling us big time. He is trolling us big time because he delivered a chapter to us this week with no dialogue. There was like nothing to read in this chapter besides the title, the number of the chapter, and then the title tag for the next chapter leading into next week. That's all we had. So Ishida, you get a round of applause from me just for actually being able to pass this chapter off this week with no dialogue and just basically having a monster movie in one chapter. And you gotta think about it too this way. These past 3 weeks, the fandom has been in an uproar. It's been up and down with these past 3 chapters these past 3 weeks. Chapter 143, everyone thought that the Tokyo Ghoul series was coming to an end, and everyone was like either angry or just waiting to get confirmation that the series was going to continue. Then chapter 144 came out. We had, the monologue inside Kaneki's mind with all of his personas, and then everyone who had a problem with 143 loved 144. Now, with this chapter, we had a monster movie with no dialogue, and I bet some people are just like, I hate this chapter so much, nothing happened, nothing progressed, and don't get me wrong, you guys are right. We did not really progress the story all too much, but we got to see the grand scope of things in terms for the citizens of Tokyo as they're dealing right now with Kaneki in this cogne Akira skin monster-like state. So that is basically my review, but what I want to dive into right now is a discussion of where do we go from here? How are we going to get Kaneki back into his half-human, half-ghoul state and get him out of this monstrosity of a form? Because the people that I can kind of see right now that could possibly calm him down, Hide and his organization, Ayato, and this one-eyed ghoul that has been built up ever since Ayato was sent on his mission. Furuta is still a big possibility, and also Toka. So I just want to break these down real quick, because with Hide and his organization, he's obviously been keeping an eye on Kaneki or Heise throughout all of Tokyo Ghoulery. And even in this chapter, you could see Hide for one split second in this chapter, and you got to be thinking he's looking at this monstrosity growing throughout Tokyo. So I'm hoping maybe he will have an antidote for Kaneki. Maybe he'll like stand in front of the Kagane form and actually like, reveal himself to Kaneki, and maybe that will get him out of his state. We don't know. But then there's also the possibility of Ayato and this one-eyed ghoul, because if there is in fact a ghoul down in the underground, this legendary one-eyed ghoul that has been built up for some time right now, does actually exist, he will know a way to possibly get out of this state, because when Ayato, a few chapters back, or actually like 10 to 15 chapters back, we saw this giant Kagane form down in the underground. So odds are the One-Eyed King or the One-Eyed Ghoul down in the underground has gone through this state before. So maybe he knows a way to actually, calm Kaneki down and actually get him back to his normal half ghoul, half human state. That is also a possibility. But then there's also Furuta, because this whole plan, this whole scheme is all according to his plan. Furuta wanted this to happen. He planned on Kaneki eating the Ogai, intaking the massive amounts of RC cells, and thus transforming into this walking, talking Godzilla Kagane. So odds are Furuta has a backup to this plan to where he can actually, take out Kaneki, or at least get Kaneki out of this state. But then you gotta start asking yourself, why would Furuta want Kaneki to get into this state, and how would he be able to take him out? Because for him, this all goes back to the CCG and Dragon, because I always was wondering, why was he calling Kaneki Dragon in the first place? Why was he actually after Dragon? Why does he want a dragon? And this actually kind of gets answered, I believe, in Volume 1 of Tokyo Ghoul Re, because as I'm reading it, there are certain pages of information that just exclusively come with each individual volume of Tokyo Ghoul. And in this one, in Volume 1, we actually get 3 badges that actually go along with CCG investigators. They obtain these after they defeat high-ranking ghouls. The first one being the single white wing medal for any CCG investigator that ends up defeating an S-rate ghoul. Number 2, the double white wing medal is given to any CCG investigator for defeating a double S-rate ghoul. And then the last one that fits into Dragon. White Dragon Wing medal for any CCG investigator that ends up defeating a triple S-rate ghoul. Now, the only, I believe, triple S-rate ghoul we've seen is Eto. But why would Furuta want to make Kaneki into Dragon, a triple S-rated ghoul? Because you gotta think about it this way. Right now, with the situation that everyone is in right now, everyone is in peril of Kaneki, this high-rate ghoul that might even be like a quadruple S-rate at this point, because we have not seen a threat like this in Tokyo Ghoul ever. So in Furuta's eyes, if he is able to actually take this threat that is endangering the entire lives of Tokyo, he would basically bring peace to ghouls and humans. That super peace. It's a theory, but I find it very, very interesting that in the first volume of Tokyo Ghoul Re, Dragon kind of gets mentioned and brought up just for the CCG alone. So that medal dealing with triple S-rate ghouls might be why Furuta wanted to develop Kaneki into Dragon. He wanted Kaneki to develop into the superior threat that they would have to take out, that they would have to save the civilians of Tokyo, and thus the CCG might get like a shining light in the public's eye, and like they would just be saviors for everyone. So that is a possibility as well. But the final possibility is just kind of like a little theory I'm having, just going on the monster movie theme in this chapter, and it's being Toka being able to get Kaneki out of this situation. Because if you know the story of King Kong, another gigantic movie monster in the world of movie monsters, he is subdued and calmed by the beauty that he loves. So I think it would be very poetic if Toka ends up, finding like the heart of Kaneki, or like the head of Kaneki out of this massive form, ends up calming him down. Because right now, the only word, the only name that is in Kaneki's mind right now is Toka. That's what's driving him right now. So Toka is another big possibility. It's still like hypothetical, but I think it would just go along with the monster movie trope that we're kind of building up into, if that the beauty of Toka, the love of Kaneki's life, was able to calm him down. So those are just my theories right now. I just wanted to talk and speculate just a little bit. I know my review was short for this, but I wanted to get a little bit of discussion, make it a little bit more worthwhile for this video. So I hope you guys at least enjoyed the content that I had for this, and I hope you guys can at least laugh at this chapter and realize how much of a troll Ishida is. And I would not even be surprised too. I was even looking at this chapter, that person on the computer with headphones, just like looking out the window. I think that'd be very funny if that was Ishida, if he drew himself into this chapter and ended up having himself get destroyed. That would just be him. I just had that thought in my head, and I thought that would be very funny and very meta of Ishida to do. So I definitely want to hear your guys' take and thoughts on this chapter. Do you guys have any jokes going along with this chapter? Leave them down in the comments below, and any speculations and theories you have moving forward for Tokyo Ghoul, and how we're going to get Kaneki out of this dire situation, and how many people are going to die in the process, and what will be the guilt that Kaneki will have after he gets out of this state to realize all the people that he injured, harmed, or killed. So leave your thoughts down in the comments below. I love you guys so much, and the support you guys have given me these past 2 weeks for Tokyo Ghoul has been amazing. It does not go unnoticed. I appreciate you all so much. But until next week, until chapter 146 of Tokyo Ghoul Re, I'll talk with you guys later, and beware of the monsters, guys. See you later.